Welcome to CEDIA 2017 here in sunny San Diego, here at the show floor at Stewart Filmscreens with Robert. Robert, obviously a great show for you guys. We're here day 3 at this point.
Yes.
Definitely
the end is
pushing through at the end.
Yes.
A lot of attention in your booth, a lot of traffic in your booth.
Yes.
Couple of reasons why, some award-winning reasons why as well.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, this day 3 we've saw a lot of traffic. It was phenomenal. The dealers are engaged. Everybody's really excited about the state of business, if you will. So it's really refreshing to see the interactions and the level of energy that our guests are sharing with us.
So for people who obviously aren't here at the show necessarily, but are back and watching the videos here on AVNation,
sure.
What do you have here at the show that you guys are proud of and showing off right now?
Oh, we've got a number of things. Actually, we did win an award for Bailon with our Phantom material. It's a new contemporary look frame that takes a true edgeless frame, if you will, and puts a contemporary spin on it, where we've beveled the backside, and we've also got to create a standoff so it can sit away from the wall, kind of give it a little floating effect, if you will. And it was paired with our Phantom ambient light rejecting material. So yes, it was nice to get some hardware for that. Probably one of my favorite pieces, though, is Gemini. The best way to describe the concept is I watch football and movies. And the difference between the two really isn't so much about aspect ratio as it is lighting conditions. When I'm watching Star Wars, which should always be bigger than the news, I'm watching it typically in a dedicated environment in my media space where the lights are off, there's no extraneous light, it's dark, and I can use a material that's designed specifically as a reference material for that environment. However, if I'm watching football with the guys or watching TV with the family, ever the lights on, we're not watching TV in the dark, we've got the lights on. Well, that requires a different material, and that's where Phantom comes into play. So where I can watch a movie in a 2:4:0 aspect ratio in the dark and right material, that material is not appropriate for daytime viewing, and that's where Phantom comes into play. We have a great example of that in the background here, where we've got a material that when they're showing lights, my reference material doesn't look so reference anymore. But that's why we created Gemini. It's a dual roller screen in one chassis that gives you literally the best of both worlds.
Well, and when it came to, I know one of the discussions is that ambient light rejection is not something that is new in the sense of the technology itself, but now that you have looked at it, there's been some differences, because that was always one of the questions. What about ALR?
Absolutely, and we basically invented the category with Firehawk, more than a dozen years ago. But obviously there's some competitive pieces out there that have kind of stepped up the ALR game, which is great for everybody. I mean, the reality is we sell the big screen experience. But Stewart is a manufacturer who manufactures its own products, and we felt that we could deliver to the next level. So we created Haler, which ultimately is the next generation of high ambient light rejecting material. And where the similarities end is typically where the percentage of ambient light rejection. We rate ours at 82% light rejection. But because we manufacture, we can go large. I mean, there's really no size limitation unless 40 by 90 foot is a size limitation for you. Is it? I hope. Because it's a flexible product, I could put it on our time-tested electric roller screen solution. So any of our motorized screens can benefit from having Phantom as a material. Because it's a vinyl-based product, I can also perf it using our...
And that was what I was about to bring up, is that was something that has always been a challenge when dealing with ambient light and acousically transparent. Where does the compromise come from?
Exactly, and ultimately there is no compromise, because now I can put not only our Cinema Perf, but our THX certified micro perf on there as well. My favorite part, though, about Phantom has to do with 4K, and it's not in 4K resolution. That's for me, the benefit is that new color space that we're seeing with HDR within that 4K package. We used to be able to see, 43% of all colors in 1080p. Now we're looking at 60+% of being able to see the colors. We do not have any color shift in our screen. So it's kind of like taking a box of 64 crayons and pulling 6, 7, 8 orange and reds out and putting in more blues with other ALR screens. Ours, you get BT 2020, Rec 709, there's no color shift. So now you get to see the colors the way the director still intended it to, even in an ambient light application. So, you know, again, it's, you know, to go large and to be able to perf it, to see all the colors, those are advantages that Stewart offers because we manufacture our product.
So also along with Phantom and everything else, there's some interesting news about Cascade.
Yeah, so Cascade is our torrent product on a diet. We were actually to take 56% of the volume of our tried and true torrent case to create Cascade. By using a new tube along with that, we're now able to get a 14-foot wide plus image into a very small space. Where that's important is you look at some of the places on the East Coast or San Francisco where the joists on an older home may not be as tall as we'd like them to be. So to get a large screen in a very limited space, we had to do some things from an engineering perspective. So now those customers that are in those dense urban environments that don't necessarily might not have normally had the space now can get a large projection screen into their homes.
Well, it sounds like you kind of went across the entire product line and just had a whole lot of fun with it and some hardware along the way, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
Obviously a great show for you guys. We can always expect something from Stewart, so it was great to see you guys here. I'm sure at the end of 3 days, you guys are ready to take a little bit of a break.
Absolutely. Tear down can't come soon enough.
All right. Well, great. Robert, thanks for being on.
Appreciate it.
For more video from the show floor, you're going to find us on AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv. This is Rich Fregosa, everybody's favorite Uncle Richie, signing off from the floor.